Hey, what's up? It's Comic95 the Savior. For this video, I want to talk to you guys about ghosting in Japan. So if you're not familiar with the term ghosting, it pretty much means what it insinuates, which is the act of disappearing. So ghosting is basically where someone that you're talking to, might be a friend, might be a boyfriend, anyone, girlfriend, whoever, and they suddenly leave without giving you any closure, no explanation, you don't know what exactly happened, and to be honest, it's possible that nothing at all happened, at least not on your end. So, to go into more detail about this, ghosting is basically extremely common here in Japan, and it's mainly because of cultural differences. So as I've kind of talked about this before, as well as this cultural difference, so to speak, Japanese people are extremely unconfrontational, non-confrontational, I forgot the word, excuse me, but they don't like to confront other people. They don't believe in, doing anything that draws negative attention to themselves or other people. So they would much rather, or shall I say, not just draw attention, but they don't like having any type of negative conversation with anyone. They would rather you just figure it out and piece it together and realize, oh, this person's not interested in me. This kind of gets lost in translation with foreigners, and instead, especially girls, they freak out and they do the exact opposite of what these guys want them to do, which is, or girls, if you're talking to your friend or whatever, they will spam, these guys or whoever, they'll spam the Japanese person with messages like, hey, are you okay? Are you alright? I'm just checking in on you, haven't heard from you in a while. Or, showing up at their house or job or meeting them at the train station, doing weird stuff like that. That's not what they want. As I've mentioned before inside my 25 signs for Japanese fuckboys, mind you, this video is for girls too, but obviously I'm a straight woman, so I'm mostly speaking from a girl's perspective. But these same rules apply for Japanese girls too. So if you're a guy and you're watching my video, I'm actually kind of surprised. I have mostly female viewers, but I have a good portion of guys. So just letting you guys know, I got you covered here too, not just men. Not just women. So anyway, back on subject. So yeah, they will not tell you the truth. So instead of just telling you hey, it's over, instead, whoever you're talking to, whether it's your friend or your boyfriend or whoever, instead of them letting you down and telling you hey, I'm not interested, hey, the way you sucked my dick yesterday, no, they're not gonna say that to you. Instead, they will suddenly or slowly, slow is even worse, you guys, stop talking to you. So the creepier part is that unlike in America, at least, it doesn't happen in a way where it's kind of obvious, I guess, that the person is completely gone. They will lead you on, and even when you ask, they'll deny that they're ghosting you. So they will tell you, trust me, I've been here, you guys, I'm speaking from experience. They will tell you oh, no, that's not true, I've just been busy with work. And if you insist on them telling you, no, just admit that you don't like me, just tell me that, we're through, we're over, they will not do it. You'll meet some people that will, but for the most part, most guys won't, unless you, seriously beg them, to death. Or, if they're, just really tired of you messing with them, they might do it, but they will block you before they will tell you why they left their relationship or left the friendship or whatever. So again, it's in order to avoid possible conflict, possible confrontation. They don't want to be rude by telling you why they don't like you or why things aren't working out. Instead, they would rather you get the hint they're not talking to you as much, they're doing other things, and they're so busy with work and family. The problem is that in order to, I guess make themselves feel better about being a jerk, they normally will continue to contact you or reply to your messages. They won't just suddenly leave out of nowhere entirely, most of the time. So instead, what they do, instead of, just packing up and leaving all of a sudden, what a lot of guys will do, guys and girls, they will continue talking to you like normal, even although they know on the inside that they're done with the relationship. And then you will notice that, slowly, they'll stop replying as fast. They've become busier with work or studying. They don't have as much time to hang out, plans get canceled all of a sudden, and like they just don't seem as interested. Like when you talk to them, like there's like, I can't really explain it, but like there's just something that's changed. You can't really tell, and because they're still replying to you, it tricks you, at least as an American, and you're like, oh, okay, if he didn't like me, you know, he'll stop messaging me, or if the relationship is over, you know, he'll stop replying. Or if you met his parents and then he seems to kind of draw back, you'll think, oh, well, if his parents didn't like me, then, you know, he'd let me know because you guys are in a relationship, duh. Well, wrong. Unfortunately, that's not the way that it always works out. Again, different guys are different. There is no, you know, one size fits all type thing. Japanese men are still men. It varies from person to person. But again, in general, most guys here don't feel comfortable enough to be honest with you. And beyond just that, I mean, while they should do it out of the goodness of their heart, for most people, it's like, what's in it for me? Like, sure, you give the other person closure, but they don't get anything from it. All they get is knowing that they hurt your feelings and broke your little heart. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not in agreement. I think that it's immature and childish to ghost people. I think you should give them an explanation, especially if you've been dating or, you know, in a relationship with said person. I'll give you a little backstory of myself. Before I got into my current relationship with Sho, the last guy that I talked to, he actually ghosted me. Actually, he subscribed to my channel, and I don't think he ever unsubbed. But anyway, he was the guy that I was telling you guys about in my video with the lies that people believe. He was an engineer. He had money. He was really nice, spoke English really well. English was his favorite subject. Super, super nice, super, super sweet. This is back in Tokyo. And I went and I like went to like a company event with him, I think once or twice. Yeah, and so like his coworkers and whatnot liked me. They invited me back. We continued dating even after that. We, you know, did all kind of stuff together. We played games, we went out to eat, he drove me places, went on a road trip, everything was great. And this is all after that happened. I still to this day have no idea why he broke up with me. I don't know if I told him something personal, we were talking and it made him like, oh, and decide that he didn't want to be with me. I don't know what happened, but whatever happened, he was like, oh, I'm through with this bitch. And it hurt kinda because, like I said, I stupidly I did exactly what I'm telling you guys not to do. So I'm speaking from experience. Don't think that when I'm telling you stuff that I'm trying to act like I'm better than you and I know so much more than you. I was once a dumb bitch, excuse me, dumb girl, in your shoes too, and I'm trying to stop you guys from being like me. But anyway, I knew it was over because like he suddenly became so busy with work after he had gone from talking to me all the time. And then when I kind of complained, like, hey, like, why aren't you messaging me back? He started reminding me of what my ex before him was like, which I did share that with him. And so I'm like, okay. So he was trying to tell me like, oh, I text you more than, you know, your ex did. And I'm like, well, actually now at this point, now you don't. So anyway, long story short, he would not say that he was through with the relationship, even although I like confronted him about it. I was like, just tell me that it's over with. And he insisted that that wasn't so. And he would ignore me for long periods of time. And when I would say that I wanted, you know, to hang out with him, he wouldn't, you know, even read my messages. And then, of course, weeks later, I want to say like a month or two later, when I actually, you know, stopped talking to him, he would like, he messaged me back. And so then he'd be like, oh, like, how are you? Like, you know, just like small talk. And it's like, okay, like you're confusing me. Do you like me or do you not like me? So because he contacted me again, it kind of made me have feelings again. Like, oh, maybe I was overreacting. Maybe he really is busy. And then eventually we just stopped talking altogether. Time passed by and I ended up in the relationship that I'm in now. And as soon as I got into my relationship, I want to say like a week or two later, he sends me a message saying hi or something. And so I lied and I pretended like I didn't know who he was. And I was like, who's this? He was like, seriously? Like, you don't know who this is? And so I said, no. And so then he tells me who he was, which I already knew. And so then I told him, I was like, oh, we don't talk anymore. And he was like, oh, okay. Like his little feelings were hurt, which was so phony. So anyway, that's my point. So like, he contacted me even although we went a long time without talking. Then he ghosted me again. And then he came back after I got into a relationship, you know, months later, and trying to act like he was so sorry about what went down. So he never apologized or anything, but he just acted like, oh, that's what I forgot. So when he messaged me back and like said, hey again, after I was in a relationship now at this point, he's like, oh, so you have a new boyfriend now? So like he tried to make it seem like he felt jealous or hurt that I had moved on, but I know in actuality he was like, finally, this crazy girl, she got a relationship, she'll leave me alone, she'll stop messaging me, and now I'm pretty sure he feels a lot better about what he did to me. And it really hurt because, like I said, I mean, I spent money on him, I invested in him, just like how he did to me. And so I enjoyed the little time that we did have dating. Wasn't the best relationship that I had. I don't think we were really a match personality-wise, but he was a really nice guy, and I believe that he at least thought that he was serious about me. From the beginning, he did a lot to try to impress me. You can actually see if you look back on my embarrassing Instagram. I think the post is still there. But anyway, I'm not trying to get too sidetracked on my own story. My point is just giving you an example of a guy that ghosted me and did it slowly, like it wasn't an all of a sudden thing. We went from hanging out all the time, every week, me staying at his house, him giving me a key to his place, me moving my stuff in practically, to him not replying, asking for his key back. Going a month without talking to me and pretending like he's busy with work. Like, don't put up with that type of crap. So long story short, don't be stupid. If you get the feeling that the guy is pulling away from you, it's because he doesn't like you. Same thing goes for you guys. If the girl that you're talking to, she's pulling away from you, she seems to always be so busy with work, it's a lie. She's just not interested in you. She either found another guy, or, in your case for your girl, he found another girl, or you might have done something that, made him say, yeah, this chick is not, wifey material. I can't marry this guy. He's a bum and a loser. He doesn't have a degree. He's balding. He doesn't have money. They didn't like the sex experience that they had with you. Whatever the case is, they decided that they will not be with you and that they don't like you. And unfortunately, to them, they think it's better to slowly let you down than it is to just say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Let's be friends, or hey, life goes on, whatever. Instead, they feel like it's better to waste your time. So it's a cultural difference, like I said. For them, they normally get the hint after a minute. It doesn't take them as long, so they can tell when someone doesn't like them. Whereas for an American, to us, we think it's so cruel because it's like, you are going to lead me on for months and months. A Japanese person will know right away, like, oh yeah, this person doesn't like me. They're, trying to give me the hint nicely to move on. So when you insist on talking to them, you insist on texting them, you might think, oh, they're going to give me closure. Nope, they're not. They're going to ultimately just ghost you altogether, block you on everything, and probably even move away from your crazy self. So don't stalk people, chase them down, try to force them to be in a relationship with you. If they don't want to be your friend, let them go. And to be honest, they're really doing you a favor. Nothing's worse than a fake, sunny weather friend, someone that'll stay and just keep in contact with you just so that they can use you for when they need you. So it's hard in the moment. I know it hurt. It hurt me so bad. I was really, really heartbroken before, I had met Sho. In fact, I told you that, after that relationship, I, literally became a bitch. And I know I said that word earlier in the video, but I don't like cursing. But yeah, I was like, nope, I don't want a relationship. And to be honest, I'll probably be the same way if things don't work out with my current boyfriend. I've mentioned before, I know people hate labels, but I'm just being real. I strongly feel like I am demisexual. I like guys, but I find it hard to, you can look up the term and you'll understand me. So that's that. Again, if they're pulling away from you, let them go. Don't force them to be in a relationship with you. You're just making yourself look stupid, and more than likely they're never going to really give you closure. You're just wasting your own time being desperate. Let the person go. You know that they've ghosted you. You don't need anyone to tell you. If they're changing suddenly, making up excuses, they're gone. Another really important thing that you have to keep in mind is, again, with cultural differences, in Japan, normally if you have any, and I mean any type of argument, any type of fight, that is the end of your relationship. It is the dumbest thing in the world, but that's the way that they function here. So I feel like for smart people in America, as my parents told me, best advice that my dad ever gave me when it came to dating, at least, is you should never marry someone that you've never seen experience all emotions. So you should see what they're like when they're happy, when they're sad, and when they're angry. And more important, when they're angry. You want to know the real them, how they really act. If they're, abusive, whatever the case is, you want to see the real them. In Japan, if you show the real you let your partner see you when you're at your worst, when you've been upset by them, etc., that's just the end of your relationship. They do not, look at it as, oh, okay, I hurt this person's feelings. Instead, it's like, oh, we had a problem. Let's just end everything. And I think this has a lot to do with marital issues later on in life too, because they've been so conditioned to be, I won't really say that they hold grudges, but they're so anti-conflict that it causes them to miss out on stuff. Like, I can't even imagine how many relationships I would have gone through if every single time I had any fight with any of my boyfriends that I was like, okay, no, we're done. I'm not gonna ever I would have a million boyfriends, or maybe I would have just had one. Because like that's pretty ridiculous to me. Everybody getting angry is just as normal as it is to get happy. And if you do something to upset someone, it's a natural response for the other person to feel angry, and it needs to be talked about and addressed. Japanese people overall do not like to address negative things, and they don't like to talk about negative feelings, and unfortunately this causes them to shut down when you try to do this with them. So instead of, your boyfriend or your friend or your girlfriend, telling you exactly what's wrong, they want you to guess what happened. And even if you guess what happened and try to apologize, depending on the person, it's already too late. The moment that you needed to say that you were sorry, it's already too late. And for them, they've already made up in their mind, this is not the one, I'm gonna find someone that'll never argue with me, type stupid mentality. And the really funny thing is that if you talk to someone, they don't agree with this. Like, they'll never think like, oh, we can't date someone that we get into argument with. They won't say that, but their actions show it. I see it all the time. I literally, it wasn't even just him. Like, with that guy, we didn't even have an argument. But my, I want to call my not boyfriend, a guy I dated for a long time. He was a fuckboy. He pretty much did the exact same thing. He did just that. So again, like I said, do not worry about people that leave you. Like I said, if they're saying that they're busy with work, they're giving you all these different excuses, their mother, they're out of town, they have to go to another city, it's all a lie. You're taking the bait, and by you taking the bait, you're kind of making the guy a little bit upset, because you're like, oh my god, can this dumb foreigner get the hint? Like, I don't like this person. And so again, beyond just ghosting, it can also be a sign that you're dealing with someone that's playing you, because as I mentioned in my fuckboy video, same thing kind of goes for girls too. They could just be keeping you around so that they can have sex with you or use you as a plan B, C, D, E, whatever letter you might, happen to be. that could also be, very much indeed so as well. So don't worry too much. Again, you're in Japan. There's plenty of other people to date that, will love you anyway. So I wouldn't stress out over a guy. No, it hurts, especially if you specifically have your heart and mind set on one particular person. But don't make a fool out of yourself trying to chase someone down. You're not only being annoying to the guy, but like I said, you're making yourself look super, super stupid. It's unnecessary. It's not going to make them change their mind. So yeah, don't invest too much into that. If they are, they hit their timeline from you, so like you can't see their pictures, they stop following you, they stop talking to you as much, they're canceling plans, they're not interested, they ghost you. And again, the reason why is they don't want to tell you the truth, because they don't want to hurt your feelings, they don't want to argue with you, they don't want you to try to negotiate with them to stay. They just want to be done. They want you to disappear. And for them, the best way to, get you to do that is to show that they're acting different, to behave differently. I don't fully understand the purpose of lying though, because like I said, whenever I've asked guys okay, are we done, they'll never really give you a straightforward answer unless they're really, really angry, and then they start being super honest. I've experienced that too. They normally won't. They'll just be like, oh no, it's all in your mind, I've just really been busy with work, see, look at this project that I'm doing. And it's all just a lie, because they're talking to other people. They just don't have time for you anymore, because either they've moved on and they're dating someone else, or they can very much indeed be single and still be like, this person just isn't it. And mind you, especially as a foreigner, whether you're a guy or a girl, you're a lot to handle for a Japanese person, just like how Japanese people are somewhat difficult for us too, especially if you're a girl, because like I said, as from a girl's perspective, it almost feels like you're dating another girl in some aspects. And I'm not talking about in a good way per se, I mean personality wise. So you'll have to deal with passive aggressive behavior, not saying what they really want, not saying what's really wrong, similar to how girls tend to do in America. Whereas for guys, your new problem is going to be not just that, because men are mostly used to dealing with that, but the fact that they will never be direct with you. Like, they're very, very indirect, and you have to really learn body language and kind of think ahead and guess, you have to mind read a lot. Like, if they don't like something, they're almost never going to explicitly tell you what they don't like. They'll almost never explicitly tell you what you did wrong. They'll have it written all over their face, so like you can see that something got messed up. And if you're one of those special people that need someone to hold your hand and show you like, hey, you messed up right here, or I really wish you didn't do that, you're gonna go through a lot of relationships probably, because again, people will not flat out tell you, I wish you didn't say this, or we're breaking up because you did this, or you wore that outfit. You'll have to piece it together that, oh, okay, I offended them. They made me think that they thought that I wasn't, I don't know, modest, or they thought that I wasn't professional enough because I lacked a degree, or whatever the case is. You never know. And again, people always think it's something major that causes breakups here, but it can be something really small. You guys can have an argument over money. It can be about coffee. And when I say money, I'm not talking about marital problems. I mean like something small. So there's so many possibilities for why they decided to ghost you, and to be honest, you can go into that forever. But again, it's normally something really small that either you said or that you did, or it can simply be because they moved on, found someone that they think looks better than you, behaves better than you, whatever. Japanese people like clean slates. They don't like the whole start over method where you continue with someone that screwed you over. I'm not just talking about in terms of cheating. I'm talking about like regular arguments, regular fights and disagreements that you guys have with each other. That can be a deal breaker for a relationship. So they might say, oh, I forgive you, let's start all over, and it's all a lie. They're hoping that you'll move on and get the hint that they've moved on themselves. So yeah, don't chase after people. It's really, really obvious that someone's not interested. Let them go. Move on with your life. You don't need closure. It's a want. I know it's hard, but you have to remember, closure is a want. You can put two and two together yourself, and to be honest, not seeking closure gives you more power. If someone's pulling away from you, pull back too. Show them two can play this game. So that's that. I know it's hard, and I'm sorry if you've ever been ghosted. I've definitely been there, done that more times than I'd like to admit. So if you have any experiences with ghosting, want to give your 2 cents, help other people out, please leave a comment down below. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I would also appreciate it if you follow me on my Instagram and Twitter, and I have a Snapchat as well. Again, ghosting in Japan is basically somebody disappearing because of some miscellaneous random reason. It could be something that you did, them choosing to date someone else, not wanting to hurt your feelings. It all ultimately comes down to the fact that they don't want to argue, don't want to fight, and they don't want to hurt you or cause you or themselves to lose face in the process. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.